Welcome to this presentation from Quantum House, Sydney's specialist accountants, tax advisors and business advisors. Today we are covering a question that many business owners eventually find themselves asking: do I need an outsourced CFO? And specifically, have I outgrown my current accountant? We are going to walk through 7 clear, practical signs that your business has reached the point where it needs the strategic financial leadership that only an outsourced or fractional CFO can provide. Along the way, we will explain exactly what an outsourced CFO does, who this service is designed for, and how Quantum House can help. Let's get started. Before we get into the 7 signs, let's make sure we're all aligned on what an outsourced CFO actually is. An outsourced CFO, also called a fractional CFO, is a senior financial executive who works with your business on a part-time or project basis. Rather than hiring a full-time CFO at $200,000 or more per year, you access the same caliber of strategic financial leadership at a fraction of that cost. The services an outsourced CFO provides go well beyond compliance. They include cash flow forecasting, financial modeling, monthly management reporting, board and investor reporting, budgeting, and preparation for business sales or capital raises. The key insight here, as you can see in the call-out box, may you maintain, is that most growing businesses need CFO-level thinking long before they can afford a full-time CFO. The outsourced model closes that gap, giving you access to senior financial leadership exactly when you need it, without the overhead. Here is a high-level overview of all 7 signs. We will go through each one in more detail on the following slides, but I want you to get the full picture first. Sign 1. You are making major business decisions without proper financial data. Sign 2. You do not know your true cash position. Sign 3. You have no 12-month financial forecast. Sign 4. You are approaching a bank or investor without institutional quality financial documents. Sign 5. Your revenue is growing, but your profits are not keeping pace. Sign 6. You are planning to sell the business or transition ownership. And sign 7, which we will cover shortly, is that you as the business owner are spending too much of your own time trying to manage the finances yourself. None of these are problems without a solution. An outsourced CFO is specifically designed to address every single one of them. Let's look at signs 1 and 2 in detail. Sign 1 is about data. Every significant business decision, whether to hire, whether to take on a new contract, whether to invest in equipment, should be backed by financial analysis. If you're relying on gut instinct rather than a financial model, you are flying blind. An outsourced CFO builds the dashboards and scenario models that replace guesswork with confidence. You should never have to guess whether you can afford to grow. Sign 2 is about cash, and this is perhaps the most dangerous gap for SMEs. Profit and cash flow are fundamentally different things, and many profitable businesses fail because they run out of cash at the wrong moment. If you have ever been surprised by your bank balance or found yourself worried about meeting payroll or a quarterly tax payment, that is a clear signal that you need formal cash flow forecasting and management. An outsourced CFO builds that system, so you always know what your cash position will be 4, 8, and 12 weeks from now. Moving to signs 3 and 4. Sign 3 is about planning. Your accountant's job is to tell you what happened last year. An outsourced CFO's job is to tell you what's going to happen next year and how to shape that outcome. If you have never had a forward-looking financial model with multiple scenarios, you are making every significant decision without a map. This is one of the most powerful things a fractional CFO brings to a growing business. Sign 4 is about external capital. If you are approaching a bank for a loan or having conversations with investors or private equity, you need institutional quality financial documents. Most SME owners simply do not have the financial modelling skills to produce these to the standard that lenders and investors require. An outsourced CFO builds those documents, stress tests the assumptions, and prepares you to answer every financial question that will come up in the funding conversation. This preparation can genuinely be the difference between securing the capital you need and being turned away. Our final 3 signs. Sign 5 is one of the most telling. Revenue is growing, but profit margins are not keeping pace, or are actually shrinking. This is a classic pattern that points to structural problems in pricing, cost management, or operational efficiency. It is very difficult to diagnose without a rigorous financial analysis. An outsourced CFO conducts that analysis, identifies exactly where value is leaking, and builds a plan to recover it. Sign 6. You are planning to sell the business or transition ownership. Business sales are won and lost on financial presentation. Buyers and their advisors scrutinize every number, and the quality of your financial documentation directly affects both the valuation achieved and the buyer's confidence. An outsourced CFO works alongside you in the 12 to 24 months before a sale, cleaning up the accounts, normalizing earnings, and preparing the documentation that supports the best possible outcome. And sign 7. You, as the owner, are spending significant time managing the finances yourself. Every hour you spend reviewing reports, checking bank positions, or worrying about the numbers is an hour that should have been spent on your customers, your team, and your growth strategy. An outsourced CFO takes that work off your plate so you can focus on what you actually do best. Let's look at what an outsourced CFO actually delivers on a day-to-day basis. The first and most foundational deliverable is cash flow forecasting and management. This means a rolling forecast, typically 13 weeks to 12 months, with multiple scenarios, so you can see your cash position under optimistic, base, and downside assumptions at any point in time. The second is financial modelling. This goes beyond a simple forecast. It is a fully integrated model of your business, with income statement, balance sheet, and cash flows all linked together. This is what you present to a bank or investor. Third is monthly management reporting. A well-designed monthly pack, including KPI dashboards and variance analysis, gives your management team a current, accurate picture of the business every month. This discipline alone transforms the quality of business decision-making. And fourth, business planning and benchmarking. Using industry data from IBISWorld, an outsourced CFO benchmarks your performance against your sector and builds a concrete action plan around what they find. This is not a report you file and forget. It is a living roadmap for improving the financial performance of your business. Now let's talk about who this service is actually designed for. The typical Quantum House outsourced CFO client is a business with annual revenue between $2 million and $30 million. They have outgrown their bookkeeper or general accountant, meaning the compliance work is fine, but what they really need is strategic financial leadership that simply is not being provided. They are growing rapidly, making frequent high-stakes decisions, and finding that the lack of financial rigor is starting to cost them. Common triggers include preparing for a capital raise or approaching a bank, planning a business sale, or finding that the owner is personally spending hours every week managing the finances rather than running the business. On the right panel, you can see that the service is also well suited to businesses in transition, whether that is new ownership, a restructure, a post-acquisition integration, or formalizing financial governance in a family business. It is also particularly valuable for startups that have raised seed or Series A funding and now need institutional quality reporting for their investors and board. So what makes Quantum House different? The first differentiator is the caliber of our people. Our senior practitioners were trained at Australia's largest accounting firms, bringing that depth of technical expertise and commercial experience to every client engagement at a fee level that is genuinely accessible for an SME. The second is our fixed fee model. Every outsourced CFO engagement is structured with a clear monthly fee agreed up front. There are no timesheet surprises, no billing anxiety, and no incentive for us to make work more complicated than it needs to be. Our incentives are fully aligned with your outcomes. And the third is our proactive approach. We do not wait for you to bring problems to us. We are actively reviewing your financial position, monitoring your cash flow, identifying opportunities and flagging risks before they have a material impact on your business. As you can see from the stat boxes at the bottom, we've been serving Sydney businesses since 2010 across 11 dedicated industry specialisations as our Xero certified advisors, and all on a fixed fee basis. So, is an outsourced CFO right for your business? If you answered yes to any of the signs we have covered today, if you are making decisions without financial data, if you do not have a 12-month forecast, if you are approaching a bank or investor, if your margins are not keeping pace with your revenue growth, or if you are personally spending time managing the business finances, then the answer is very likely yes. Quantum House provides outsourced and fractional CFO services to Sydney SMEs across a broad range of industries, including construction, medical, professional services, retail, hospitality, and technology. We would be delighted to have a confidential, obligation-free conversation about your business and whether our service is the right fit. You can reach us through our website at quantumhouse.com.au, by email at inquiry@quantumhouse.com.au, or by calling our Sydney office on 1300809697. Thank you for your time today. We look forward to speaking with you.